I be sparking and rushing mad like inside the dark. Call me Bill Snatcher, just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a gauntlet and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content that we talk about here on the channel is gonna be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you guys are all caught up with the manga and you do not care about speculative theories that are based off of stuff that takes place in the manga. So with that being said, let's get right into the actual discussion. So this was a topic suggested to me by one of my patrons over on my Patreon, which is to discuss the pros and cons and how narratively it would work for there to be a cyborg Hashirama Senju. So for those of you guys who might have forgotten, we know that Amado is working on a new cyborg that he said would be a valuable asset to Konoha. And in the Boruto anime, we find out that Kashin Koji was inside of Konoha and he gathered data on a shinobi that has ties to Konoha that was before the 4th Great Ninja War. And when Amado gets that information, he says, and I believe episode 212 of Boruto, that thanks to that information that they now have a secret weapon that they can use. And we know in the Boruto manga that that secret weapon is this cyborg that Amado is working on. They tell Sumire is going to be a wonderful asset for the Hidden Leaf Village. And given that we know that Amado is aware of the fact that there are cyborgs out there that are stronger than Jigen, which, as a reminder, cyborgs are not robots. Kawaki is a cyborg. So we're talking about living, breathing human beings who just happen to have artificial enhancements that are mechanical, but they're still human. A lot of people get that mixed up, but I say that to say Amado is aware of the fact that code is out there, and that if code gets his limiters removed, then you're in a situation where code is going to be more powerful than Jigen, as Naruto is right now. Without Kurama and Sasuke, without the rinnegan, there's a strong possibility that neither one of them is going to be able to beat Code as Code is currently. But if he gets his limiters removed, there's nobody who can defeat Code. And then you also have the other cyborgs in Ada and Daemon, who we know for a fact that they're more powerful than Jigen, but we don't know how much more powerful they are. We know with Ada that Ada is only skilled in taijutsu and she has an overpowered dojutsu in the Senrigan, and we know that Daemon has automatic counter where any attacks that come towards them are going to be reflected as long as they have killing intent with them. Well, the fact of the matter is that a cyborg Hashirama Senju, there are some possibilities for this to be a character where it absolutely makes sense from a narrative perspective. So first and foremost, Hashirama was already somebody incredibly powerful, but the fact is that starting with the base that powerful and then adding in Amado's ninja tech. Look at what he did with a character in Kashin Koji, where he just made him as a clone from Jiraiya and made Kashin Koji even better of a shinobi than Jiraiya and made him a more powerful shinobi than Jiraiya ever was. What do you think he would do if he got his hands on Hashirama Senju, someone who not only has mastery of all 5 changes in chakra nature, but he also has mastery over wood release? And if you take in the wood release factor, I think that from a narrative perspective, this could work on quite a few levels. So like I've said in the past, I believe that wood release could be a counter for Daemon, because wood release allows you to drain chakra. So if you just encase the entire area that Daemon's inside of a wood release, you could use as a way to just drain away Daemon's chakra. And since you're not coming with killing intent, and because you're not directly attacking him, in theory, that should be something that works. However, the other side from this, from a narrative perspective, to where this actually works is Hashirama by himself was able to keep several of the Biju as basic house pets, and he was handing them out to the different ninja nations as a way to promote peace and stop the fighting that was going on during the First Great Ninja War. Well, the fact of the matter is this: if Hashirama gets this ninja tech upgrades, we currently have a tailed beast that nobody has an answer for, which is we have a 10-tailed beast that is out there waiting in the shadows. And if Amado can upgrade a clone version of Hashirama with all this ninja tech, all of a sudden you have somebody who could potentially control that 10 tails and keep that 10 tails from being a problem. And if he can control it, you can probably bet that he'll be able to destroy it. Also, you have the potential that Hashirama would be able to use the 4 red yang formation jutsu, which is that overpowered barrier jutsu that you saw Hashirama and the other dead Kages use to contain the 10 tails. In theory, Hashirama should be able to do so just using 4 shadow clones himself, especially if we're in a situation where Hashirama is going to be even more overpowered than he actually is. Now, another thing you also have to look at is that Hashirama as a cyborg would have access to the Rashomon, which that's that super overpowered summoning jutsu that is used for defensive purposes, that was strong enough to be able to stop one of Naruto's 4 tails transform state Bijudama. This cyborg clone of Hashirama would also have access to the summon enlightenment jutsu, which is that giant wooden statue of the Buddha that has 1,000 hands. This cyborg clone would be able to use a jutsu like that. So if he's going against somebody like Code, that's a one shot. Definitely against this 10 tails, that could be something that comes of massive use right there. Hashirama also has jutsu that come in handy, like the deep force emergence that could be used as a way to contain this 10 tails. You also have the wood style deep force bloom jutsu, which has those trees grow at a super rapid pace. It creates a forest of trees that branch out and it shoots off this pollen that knocks the user unconscious. Once again, this is a way to get rid of Daemon because you're not fighting with killing intent at this point, but you're knocking them unconscious. And this pollen was shown to be capable enough of getting through the Susanoo, so it is also very potent. And what's very good about this is that you can also use this in long range, and you only need to weave 1 hand sign in order to actually use it. And even if you get in a situation where you'll have to fight against that 10 tails, having somebody who can use a wood style wood golem jutsu, once again you have a really great opportunity because this huge golem comes with destructive force. So just the version that Hashirama had was stated to be as strong as the 9 tails, as stated by the 4th Naruto databook. So if you add in the fact that this Hashirama will be an even stronger version of Hashirama because of all the ninja tech that Amado will be putting into this clone, by default that wood golem should be even stronger, which that will make sense because you have a different 10 tails than the one that we saw during the 4th Great Ninja War. So that is something to kind of keep in mind right there, that if you have something like that, that gives them a way to fight back against this 10 tails, because as Naruto and Sasuke are currently right now, they cannot defeat a 10 tails of that magnitude. And I'll also say that when it comes to Hashirama, I really feel like sometimes people overlook some of his abilities. So I would like to remind you that he's one of the few shinobi who got that title of God of the Shinobi. The guy was basically John Wick when it comes to hunting down Uchiha clan members and taking them out during the Warring States era. We're talking about somebody who, as we saw in the manga, when he's molding chakra, he's able to produce shockwaves, and he's looking over at Naruto's QB chakra mode clones and he's like, yeah, they ain't got nowhere near as much chakra as me. We're talking about a very skilled shinobi. Not many ninja have mastery naturally of all 5 changes in chakra nature. Some of the ninja that have acquired all 5 chakra natures, it comes from people like Naruto gaining mastery of all things chakra related once Naruto was given power by Hagoromo, or people like Sasuke and Nagato, Obito, Madara, who had mastery of all 5 changes in chakra nature because of the rinnegan. Hashirama did it naturally. And I also think that from a narrative perspective, the reason why this could also work is Hashirama also has Sage Mode. So it stands to reason that if Kashin Koji would be even stronger in base than Jiraiya, and he gets a better version of Sage Mode, you could see a similar thing here with this cyborg Hashirama, where his Sage Mode is even more powerful than the Sage Mode that you saw at Hashirama. So again, that gives you an added incentive. If you go against somebody who is a fighter like Code, or somebody like Ada who is only good at taijutsu, being able to use that Sage Mode, that gives you another way to attack, and it gives you another trump card. So if Code uses his Karma Seal, if Code and the cyborg Hashirama are fighting relative to one another, and Code thinks that using his chroma seal is a way to get the upper hand. This cyborg Hashirama using Sage Mode is able to once again level the playing field. Now, again, I don't think that this is likely to happen. I don't see Hashirama being a character that does get brought back. However, I can see the pros and cons to this. Now, one of the cons that would come with making a cyborg Hashirama, in my opinion, is the fact that we've already seen what Hashirama can do. I really feel like if they're not going to make this a Delta clone because there's a third Delta body we haven't seen, if you're not going to go that route and you're going to do it with somebody that's Konoha related, this gives us a better opportunity to see people like Kakashi's father. I think that that will be something that will be really cool because you have a character in the White Fang who is stated to be as strong, if not stronger, than the legendary Sannin. The Sannin themselves were stated to be as strong as the Hokage. So I do like this idea, going the route of Kakashi's father opposed to some of these other ideas. However, I can also see why so many people want to see somebody like Hashirama come back. He is a popular character. So my question to you guys is, do you like the idea of a cyborg Hashirama? And if you had to pick somebody be brought back as a cyborg, who would be your number one choice? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.